What's good people, Supersaw bbrights and I am back with a brand new video. Today we're going to be working on part 7 of our SaberZ from start to finish track. In this episode we're going to be finishing off the breakdown section, adding a few more elements, and then working on the Supersaw Climax section where we add in the big Supersaws, the big top leads and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a good episode. As usual, we're going to go through each section of what we've created so far. So this is the breakdown. We're going to be adding to this episode as well, so bearing in mind this isn't the final result by any means, nor the drop. So this is what we have for the breakdown. So that is the breakdown, and then obviously, yeah, like I said, we're going to be working on the climax today. We're going to add in some small elements, small effects, details to the track, and this is the drop, what we've got so far. And obviously, yeah, the CPU is going crazy. We still had this piano drop fill here, but we need to do some stuff with that, but that'll be in a later episode. A few things I wanted to add in this episode. Just some simple things into the current breakdown, because I want this main episode to be around the Supersaw Climax, so we can get the track moving. Just wanted to add some small details, a little ambience, like it's like an ocean or a waterfall or rain, something along those lines. The one I usually use is from Kashmir Volume 2, Effects, Natural Ambience, and I usually use the ocean or the rain. We used the rain this time. I like the rain just because it fills out the track. Control B, copy it over. It's a nice yellow. Yeah, this will just fill out the track. What we'll do here is we'll add it into the mixer and get the right volumes. We'll add quite a few down here because we're going to be adding some break drums. And everyone knows by now that I have OCD in FL Studio. I like everything to be organized. See, when I just turn it on and off, you can hear that small little detail. It has that small airy feel. So what we're going to do is create an automation clip so it will sweep up. Obviously, in these first two bars, this is going to be like a sub drop and a horn. This is basically after the first drop, we're just entering the break in this section. Next, I wanted to add some small drop claps. I'm going to be filtering in, and that's going to come in when the pluck comes in. So we're going to be copying these, making that green color. Yeah, I was going to add a fruity filter on this, and then they'll slowly filter in and come up in this 8-bar section. Listening through this, I need something in this last 8 bars so we can do a nice transition into this Supersaw Climax. I was thinking of creating a unique here and then choosing, just sustaining one note and then creating a pitch automation, and then it will pitch down. We'll do that once it comes to it, but that's an idea I have. Next I wanted to add just a small 4-bar snare build in these last 4 bars here. Just help with a transition, build some small energy and tension to lead into the Supersaw area. So all we need is just a small snare. See what Kashmir has for us as always. He's very helpful with the tutorial, in every tutorial. Obviously this snare's in E as well, which is always helpful. And again, we're going to filter this in as well, but we're going to do a automation here with the snare, so it will take the low end out. So I've just created a pitch automation as well. We're going to pitch this up as well with these last, just this last bar. And that sound like this. And again, we're not going to make it as bright straight away because it sounds really weird. We're going to filter them in and do a nice reverb automation as well. There we go. And then lastly, put a reverb on it. And we're going to do a nice reverb automation. Automation clip of the wet, automation clip of the dry. We can stack all these up. Perfect. Next, I wanted to add, I really want to change this section here. So let's do that. We're going to do this relatively fast. I'm going to make an edit if it takes too long. It took a lot longer than expected. I'm trying to keep these videos a lot shorter now, so I'm making a lot more edits and cuts and chops and all there. All we've added is a simple 4-bar snare with a few reverb and EQ automations. Just to help with transition, same with the claps. And then what we've done here is we've got the big snare from Cashmere. Everyone uses it. But when you're doing these kind of tracks, you really need everything in key, the same key. Just it sounds so much more organic and better. And obviously this big snare, that's in the key of C. We're working in the key of E, and you can really tell the difference when you're using the snare. So what we've done is we've made a unique version and pitched this up 4 semitones. So from C to E is 4 semitones, but now it sounds like this. But the attack of this, you can tell, sounds quite stretched. So what we've done is we've created a unique, kept the original at C. So it's got that attack still. And then we've chopped it out of the unique version and just wanted the tail of the sub. And then combined. It sounds quite a little better. And we have a pre-sweep here. And then what we've done here, we've added an LFO. Nothing too special. I'll quickly go through what we've done. Just a simple pattern, sustained. And then what does it is just the automations. We've made an automation clip of the LFO rate, which is, if I can find it, this one here, the rate of the LFO. Then we've made another automation clip of the EQ taken at the low end and a reverb wet and dry automation. Nothing too complex there. And then what I was talking about earlier, if none of you really understood, is I wanted to make like a small transition in this final bar to make the Supersaw Climax more smooth. So what we've done is we've just made a sustained E note. So it sounds like this. And then we've created a pitch bend automation alongside some reverb again, just to help with transition. And now it sounds like this. And then with everything combined, with the claps, the snares, the LFO and the big snare, it now sounds like this. Oh, I forgot as well, yeah, we added a sub drop. So now we can actually move on to the Supersaw Climax, start working on that. The transition seems fun. It needs a little bit of tweaking, but it's the general idea I wanted. Now we can just move on. I just want to structure out the whole track a bit, make everything in order. So let's do that quickly. There we go. So we just organised it a bit, let everything have its own track rather than stacking it all on the same track. It looks a bit messy, easier to work with as well. So then if we make a few gaps between the break and the drums, can start adding in some new layers for some Supersaw Climax. So the first layer I'm going to be using some big Supersaw chords from Nexus, and all we're going to be doing is copying the same MIDI here, but just doing the rhythm of the main melody. So this is the Supersaw chords. Very nice Supersaws from Nexus. We're going to be layering it up with the one from Silent. We've called it Supersaw 1. So the chords from Silent, we're using the SaberZ chords 1. They sound very nice, they sound like this. So this has a little more upper harmonics, so they layer very nice together. Very nice. 2 Supersaws should be enough for now. If need be, we'll add 1 more, but for now 2 is enough. Now let's look for some top leads, and then we can start mixing them all in together. So for the top leads, we have chosen 3 layers so far. The first one is this one here. It's just a duplicate of the pluck one here, just to actually sound the same. There's no difference in melody. So this is that sound there. The second one is a very important layer. It's this one right here. It's called Lead Audion. And the third layer is just a simple Supersaw. But it's got a bit of a fold back distortion on it. Just give it a bit more grittiness. All 3 layers together. And then the Supersaw chords. Forgot to mention, in the first layer of the Supersaw chords, I've just copy and pasted the top melody over the top. Just to reinforce that melody. So that's sounding good so far. Next, I'm going to be adding a bass line. So for the bass, we just use a simple sine wave sub bass. And then we've just turned the release up just a little bit. We don't want the sub bass to be too choppy in these sections here. We want it to be quite sustained, just because that's where the sub is most powerful. So we're still following the melody and the rhythm of the melody. And then for this bass here, it's just a Supersaw at a very low octave. Taking out some of the low end. Taking out some of that hissy high end. And then all together. Bearing in mind there's no processing in any of these, we're going to be doing that next. It sounds like this. So it's sounding pretty decent. Now we've got some basic sound selection going on. We're going to be making some adjustments probably. But for now we're going to move on to the processing. So for the processing, we've created 2 separate groups. One for the Supersaws, because we don't want them to be as bright as the big leads, otherwise all the high end will clash. So for the Supersaw group, nothing too crazy. 1 EQ, another EQ, and just a little compressor to glue them both together. Nothing too major. And then again on the Climax leads, the EQ, Camel Crusher, and another EQ. Just beats them up a bit. And then what we've done is we've sent the big lead group and the Supersaw group to a reverb. So they both have the same reverb. We have a vintage Valhalla, 3-second decay, 30% mix. Then we have another compressor, and then we have an EQ just to cut out any lows in the Supersaws or Climax, and that sounds like this. Obviously the compressor's doing a lot here, so if I turn it off, doing a lot of work there. We haven't touched the sub bass and saw bass since. Altogether it sounds like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to quickly play it with the current break, and I think we'll end the video there because I think that is enough. And then in the next episode we can work on adding the sub kick in with the Supersaw. So overall it sounds like this. And then yeah, obviously we add this sub kick in here. So, like I said in one of the previous episodes, similar to a kick like this. And obviously pitches in key with the bass. But that is pretty much it for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button. Helps the channel grow, makes me happy. If you didn't see my community post, on March 1st I'm releasing a nice little pack for my Deep House users and viewers. Stay tuned for that. And also next Wednesday I have a demo video coming. So like I said in a previous video, if you want your song to be listened to, send it to the email in the description. And that is pretty much it. So have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon.